What is up, guys? We're back with another video. What we're going to be doing today, is showing you how an engine works, or therefore how a car propels itself, or any vehicle. Because I'm running out of ideas, and that's one thing I guess I'm good at, is engines and stuff. So first thing you need to learn is that the engine powers a conveyor belt, which is a belt that spins, which is connected to an axle, which spins, which is connected to the tires, which moves the tires, which propels the car. Propels the car. That's the word I'm looking for. So I have a bunch of models, or a couple. Here's one of them. So this is what an engine looks like. Usually the conveyor belt would be right there, which is spinning. And it spins basically when you start up your engine. It squirts gasoline and air. It's a proportion that's made and chemically formed in a factory, the car factory specifically. It's fused together, and right when it starts, it ignites, which has a spark plug which turns on and heats up basically the gasoline, which then pushes, so all the pistons start in a resting position. So you can basically have a 2-cylinder, a 4-cylinder, a 6-cylinder, or an 8-cylinder. You can have a V8 or a straight 6 or straight 8. So basically, if you have an inline, you have the amount of pistons. So if it's 4, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Evens, odds. If you have like a V8, it's this or this, depending on you have inner or outer. Outer would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Inner would be 1, 2, 3, or whatever. But if you have 4, let's use 4, you would have an up piston when the engine's not running. You'd have up, down, up, down. And so when you turn on the engine, spark plugs fire, or first gasoline shoots into the pistons, which is concealed, and so then the piston pushes down and up like that, and it will explode 2 of the 4 pistons on each side. So it'll go boom. So when one's going up, the other one's going down, because it's pushing it, which is connected to a crankshaft that's turning. So it's going boom, 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 which is propelling itself, which therefore is turning the conveyor belt because of it's pushing it down. Like, have you ever seen those cars where you kind of push it, like you keep pushing it and it spins the wheels a lot and then it kind of goes? It's that same way. When it's pushing down, it's moving the belt this way. So it's pushing it, so it's going like this. It's forcing it down, which is then spinning at a very high rate, which is having to transfer to the axle, which is very difficult because, I mean, its axles are heavy and the belt is not heavy. So usually your engine will create a lot more horsepower than factory. Your engine usually will create about 500 horsepower, but it's to the wheel, it's creating 200 horsepower because it has to go through the axle, it has to go through all the gears. So that does work, but you still need a transmission, because all would be happening is you wouldn't be able to move. You would just be stuck. What the transmission does is gives basically the pistons a break. So it's resetting the pistons. So what's happening usually is if you have only one gear, you're having pistons move to the fastest RPM they can go. So they're moving. When you change gears, it lets go of stops squirting gasoline and air into the pistons, gives it a break, keeps the momentum you're going at that speed. If you're going like 80, but your RPMs, it keeps that momentum, and then when you change it into the next gear, it's starting the whole process over, which is allowing it to build more speed because it's adding basically that 80 back on top of it. So if you have like a 12-gear car, your car will be able to hit insane speeds if you have the right engine. A lot of people confuse here's another process. A lot of people confuse that a V8 engine is always going to be faster than a 4-cylinder engine. That's not the case. The bigger the piston, the more power. The faster the piston, the more power. So you could even have a piston this big, which is a small piston, and then you could have a piston like that big. This big could be faster because it's lighter, it's moving faster. It all depends. V8s aren't always the fastest. Look at a truck. The truck, even though it does weigh more, even if it weighed the same, it's set up differently. It's more torque built. It's more powerful pushing down, so it pushes down more, which is affecting the torque. So I'm basically rambling on, but here's another model I have. I built this with my dad. So basically there are 4 pistons right here. Boom, 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 boom. I'll turn it on later, I guess. And which is spinning the conveyor belt right here, like that. So look at, it's spinning that, which is moving the pistons. So this isn't completely accurate. I mean, it's missing a bunch of things. And then you have the axle right there, which is connected to all the pistons. So let's, I guess, show you. I don't. It's pretty cool, but it's really loud, so I don't know. Currently very late. It's, what time is it? 1:23 a.m. So I'm gonna try not to make a bunch of noise. Oh, it's breaking. This is really old. I built this with my dad. I guess let's start it. To plug these wires in. So we hand built this too. So it got a bunch of people. It took forever. Boom. Okay, let's try not to make this really loud. Actually, I'll put this. So as you can see, the red means it's firing. So it's firing one at a time. So yeah, that's basically how an engine works. It's pretty much the big, if I do say so myself, which is powered by a car. Motorcycle engines and dirt bike engines. That's more of my expertise, but I still know a lot about this. But that's a lot more confusing to go into. Motorcycle and dirt bike engines are going like this, kind of. They're going like boom, boom, where normal engines are going like this, or maybe a tiny bit slanted, max. That sounds weird. It doesn't sound weird, it looks weird. Okay, now I'm gonna go into a Mitsubishi engine. Mitsubishi made this engine, like Dodge makes engine. Dodge makes the Hemi engine, which is exactly this. This is a Hemi engine. Smaller. Mitsubishi came up with this idea. It's based off an electric motor. Electric motor spins by 2 magnetic things that are electrically charged, 2 electric magnets that are pushing each other opposite. So there's a positive and a positive right here, and so they're very strong magnets, like kill you if you put your finger between them and it smash, like, well, not your finger, but anything else, like your neck. So they are firmly in place metal. That's basically the whole car is formed to those 2 magnets, and then there's a metal disc. And so what's happening is they're magnetically being charged, which is pushing one end and then pushing it this way because they're like this. So it's going boom, 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 and then it spins faster and faster and faster. So that doesn't need gears. So Mitsubishi was like, oh, let's come up with our new engine. So it's triangle like this. There's piston, piston, piston. It's basically a 3-cylinder. What's happening is one's pushing down, spinning, push, push, push. So the triangle's constantly going do, do. So it's going do, 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 do. It's because one piston's pushing down and creating pressure and moving it. And that is a lot better transportation of the power. Like, it's not a belt, it's not going to pistons, and then it's going to a belt, and then it's going to a gear change, then going to an axle, then going to a rear axle, and then going to the system, and then going to the tires. None of that is straight up. Basically, it doesn't need a belt because it's moving that triangle, and it's very dangerous if you get in a car wreck, because if that comes loose, it's basically like 5,000 miles per hour going straight into your car, and if it hits you, you're dead. But a lot of people don't think of that because they don't think it's going to be that bad of a wreck. Like with electric motors, as soon as you hit, it will automatically disconnect the electric wires and it'll just stop. It'll just fully stop. And Mitsubishi, it keeps going because it's gasoline. You can't turn it off unless you turn off the key. But that's not my point. It's more efficient if you could come up with more power. If you could make that car have more power, it would be one of the fastest cars in the world, Mitsubishi. say you put 8 cylinders in it, or no, let's make 9 cylinders because you physically can't do 8. 9 cylinders. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's going and it's going like that. And it makes just the amount of horsepower as a normal engine, 3 times as fast. Sadly, you can't do that because it's super expensive. You need all the computer technology you need room for the wires, none of that. But basically, instead of having pistons that have to translate, it's that which doesn't go to a belt, that goes straight to the axle, and the axle's connected to that, so it's automatic. That's why Mitsubishis are really good for acceleration, because it's not the piston first has to push down, then turns the thing, and then so it's basically like that, which doesn't seem like a difference as going like this, but when you get in a Mitsubishi, it's instant, like literally boom. Right as the engine starts, you're ready. Whereas a car, not a car, like a BMW or something, you have to change the thing, go into an axle. The engine is the axle for a Mitsubishi. I don't know why I'm going too much into that, but I just want to explain the different types of engines. I mean, you have plenty of engines. People think it's all just 8 cylinders or 6 cylinders. Sadly, that's not the case. They are a lot more simple. Then you have hybrids, which are motors and engines being fused together. So when an engine always have to have a brake, that's what gear shifts are. But when you gear shift, the engine has to take, it's about 3 seconds long, which doesn't seem like too long, but when you're racing, you're going super fast and then back at it. Like not even that. You're going super fast and then 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and you're back at your other speed that you were climbing at. So that's why hybrids are so amazing. You could be getting all that gasoline power, which Teslas and all those can't do. They're really good acceleration, but when you have to switch gears, slow. So you have all this gasoline power. When it needs to switch gears, switches gears, then the hybrid little engine, electric engine, kicks in right when that's going to change gears. So there's no difference. So that sliding in goes down, slides in, so it's like that, and then boom, so yeah, I basically just want to explain. It's really late at night, I'm exhausted, I don't know why I'm doing this. What is my life? Who knows? Hope you guys enjoyed that video, hope you guys understood what I'm saying, I don't know, hope I made sense, at least. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, peace. I also have one more thing to show you. Go here. I learned all my stuff from my dad, and from this book right here, which you can buy, Modern Automatic Mechanics. It's not very modern anymore. It's actually really old now. Let's just look at a little bit of it. You have places like the engine. This goes in a lot more detail than I did. You have all that. Crankshaft, all the parts, what you need to build an engine, kind of. It's very, in my opinion, it's very interesting. You look at what pages. See, this is the spark plug. It's acceptable pattern, not acceptable, not acceptable pattern, not acceptable. So you don't want it. You want it straight down mist. You don't want none spraying sideways. You don't want none not spraying really at all, and you don't want none blowing up. That's the engine, and you have transmission, the car. When was this book made? This is an old book. I don't know. I'm not actually gonna read this tonight. I'll read part of it. Fuck. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Oh, fuck, I forgot to talk about something. I'm gonna do this really quickly. Okay. So also what you have is liters. So a lot of people don't know what a liter is in an engine. That's how much gasoline's being poured in the engine, in each piston. So 6.1 liters, a lot of fuel. So that's how much gasoline's being poured in the piston to ignite it, which more gasoline, as you may know, when you would light maybe a drop of gasoline and you get a lighter and light it, it's gonna big fire, but not too big. When you get a gallon of gasoline and you light it on fire, you have a world big fire. You have Australia. So that's the difference if you're putting more gasoline in the piston. And it's not just like, it's not going to blow up your car. A lot of people would think that you would blow up your car because it's more gasoline. There's no oxygen. There's no oxygen inside the piston, so it's just a quick boom, and it's out because there's no oxygen for it to eat or breathe on. So, yeah, that's basically the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I like making these videos, so maybe my YouTube channel could go more based off of, like tutorials or teaching you guys how to, do stuff. I don't know, but yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one, and peace.